How to avoid the next market crash, part two. This is for the younger employee, 40s, maybe late 30s or early 50s, who know they will need to work more than 10 years before retirement, but they don't want to go through another market crash, or they realize how devastating that could be. There are annuities that protect your retirement savings from the market crashes. This is called a flexible premium index annuity. It offers different indexes you can choose from, and some are uncapped, which means whatever that index does, point to point, usually 1 year, then your account will be credited the increase. If the stock market crashes point to point in any capacity, then your account will maintain its value. Sounds like a good deal. This is a non-taxable event because it is considered a 1035 exchange. You're moving from retirement savings from 401k, 403b, 457 to this annuity. The taxable rules are the same. If you access this money prior to age 59 and a half for a non-qualified event, you will have a 10% penalty, and you will have to pay income tax on it. The biggest advantage is your account will never lose due to a stock market crash. Who can do this? If you get laid off, you are able to move your money without question. If you're still working and unsure, call your HR department and ask if they allow for an in-service transfer from your company's retirement account to an annuity. On the next couple of slides, I would like to give you a couple of visuals to help you understand this better. Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words, as they say. So let's say you're in the green line with the annuity, and this is the stock market, the red line. When it starts crashing right here and it starts going below zero, you don't gain anything, but you don't lose. Zero is your hero. Now, when it starts going up from here, from the red line, you go up from here, from the green line, which is huge because you're not having to endure the loss. So if you stay in something like this, you will end up beating the stock market. So this is the math of rebounding. What does it take to recover from loss? If you have a negative 10%, then you will need 11.1% just to get back to what it was before the minus 10% happened. If you have a negative 20, then you need a positive 25 to get back to before the crash. Negative 30, 42.8 positive, negative 40, 66.7 positive, negative 50, 100% positive. Now, of course, it's not going to happen in those numbers. You might get 3%, and if you have a negative 10, that's going to take you 3.6 years to recover. 5% is going to take you 2.2 years to recover. 7% is going to take you 1.6 years to recover. 9% is going to take you 1.2 years to recover. So take a picture of this. This is a good reference for you to keep in, to keep on your computer so you'll know what's going on. Okay, next slide. Let's talk about a hypothetical example. A 47-year-old man wants to move his money from his 401k and avoid the crash. We choose an index with 150% 10% participation to maximize growth. There's no fee for this index, which is great. So this means if the index, he's in, goes up 10% increase, your account will be credited 150% times 10% equals 15%. So 15% will be credited to his account. Not bad, right? And there's no fee for this. This is how illustrations are calculated. No one can predict the stock market, correct? So what the illustration software does is show zero growth, worst case scenario. They call this the guaranteed growth, which will never happen. It's never happened in the past, and most likely it will never happen again. It will never happen, period. Then the software will run the illustration based on the most recent 10 years scenario. And the next illustration would be based on the best 10 years out of the last 20 years scenario, then the worst 10 years out of the last 20 years scenario. Let's see how it works out. So based on the most recent 10 years, the average interest rate is 6.9% in this index. Based on the best 10 years out of the last 20 years, the average interest rate is 11.2%, 24%. The worst 10 years out of the last 20 years is the same as the most recent 10 years, averaging at 6.19 rate. Based on the last 10 years illustration, at age 65, the person will have $320,489 into this account. He can start taking lifetime income on that amount, or he can take the lump sum and do as he pleases, as he chooses. Put it in a different annuity, or just spend it as he chooses, or whatever he wants to do. If he chooses to let it grow till age 73, he will have $548,984. Of course, if the market performs better, then this money will be more. FYI, I illustrated the worst, not the best scenario. Sorry for the misspell right here. But in any case, so I illustrated the worst, not the best. Just keep that in mind. I like to underpromise and overdeliver. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. Basically, they give you this graph where this is the highest and this is the lowest, and they say it's probably going to be somewhere in between. But again, we can't predict because this is not a fixed rate. This is whatever the market does, and it's a participation rate in this particular scenario. Because no one can predict the stock market, there are no guarantees. This annuity has a zero floor. You will never endure another stock market crash. There are no fees. When you withdraw the money, you will owe income tax on it unless it's coming from a 5+ year Roth IRA, or it's coming from a savings account that you already paid taxes on. After age 59 and a half, you can take out any amount you want. You will owe income tax on it, or you can annuitize to ensure you will never run out of your retirement income. Now, if this person is a business owner and wants to keep putting in money in there, he can still do that. But if the money is qualified, that means it's qualified to be taxed when he gets it. Then that means he needs to keep the same status of the money that's going in. Otherwise, he can't put after-tax dollars into a qualified account that he started. I hope that made sense. If it doesn't, text me, email me. and I'll explain it a little bit further. Before you book your complimentary consultation, I'm the only person that meets with clients. If you get someone else, that means they hacked my calendar link, which tells you a lot about their lack of integrity. Thank you for joining me on this webinar. I look forward to helping you never outlive your retirement income. Book your complimentary consultation to ensure you never endure another market crash. Look forward to helping you.